Okay, so that was an interesting call. That was my daughter, and one of them. I mean, everybody's going through stuff. So I wanted to take her call because, I knew that it was important. But one of the things, she's talking about her own stuff and what she's going through. But she said, I'm telling you, Mom, everybody is going through shit. Like, it's crazy. I can't even tell you. Everybody's losing their minds. They're falling apart. And I was like, do you remember when I told you that this was going to happen? I told you that we're going to go into a time where there is going to be just natural disasters. There's going to be people losing their minds. People are going to be so confused, and it's going to be utter chaos, and everybody is their lives are going to be falling apart. And I said there's going to be, a lot of suicide, a lot of murder. And, I could see it all. I knew it was all coming. And I was telling them, like I said, they all thought, that I was crazy, but now that it's happening. So, she was laughing because, yeah, I already said that. And she goes, well, I told them, well, everybody's losing their mind. I said, well, my mom says this is the age of Aquarius. I was like, no, we're going into the age of Aquarius. You got to tell them that this is the transition into the age of Aquarius. And in this transition, because you have to heal yourself, because you cannot get through those gates carrying baggage. So, and this is everybody's opportunity to rid themselves of the baggage that they carry, the hardships and stuff. But it all has to do with, there's a hair going straight across my eye. It all has to do with, oh my gosh. It's really hard when you can't see things. You just have to blindly, like, where is it? But the whole thing is that, people have to, what was I saying? People have to heal themselves. They have to go in and they have to want more for themselves. They have to look at things. They have to change their perspective. Just like I said, all these people running around in fear and ants and, well, the Bible says this and this is the devil and this, all of this stuff. It's like, and there's so many religious people who are doing these explanations to explain to people how in the Bible you're really worshiping Lucifer and it's their God and all sorts of stuff. But that is all for people for themselves to learn and discover. But when you're in fear, and you're just running around, oh, the sky is falling, what do we do? What do we do? That's why I was trying to speak out. Like, all this stuff is happening. You need to have awareness, but you need to grow. You need to heal. You need to work on yourself and look at yourself. And, for most people who have just been trying to survive and work, that is a lot to do, and it's funny because she was laughing. She's just like, Mom, I'm not talking about the clients. I'm talking about the counselors. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I know. I knew it was coming, and it's funny because that's where we are. We're in it. It is happening, and it is happening for everybody, and it is really exciting, even though it's overwhelming and distressful for most people. It is really exciting because this is a time of change. Change doesn't happen when everything's going smoothly. Change happens when, something happens that's big and you have to change something. You have to do something different. You have to look at it differently. Otherwise you're just in a stagnant experience. Like, how many times can you just go around and around and around on the same thing? Like I said, it was like I went on a merry-go-round, just going in circles my whole life, just going in circles on the same damn ride. And then all of a sudden you go off and it's like, oh man, like, it's a beautiful experience and it's weird because, I never did spend, I never spent a significant time alone, developing myself, figuring out who I was. And that is what has been really fun and remarkable through this healing journey, is figuring out who I am. And it has opened me up to, I'm so much more than what I believe I am here. And that is, it's exciting. That's why, the things that I want to know are more out there. Like, there's so much more stuff to my journey that, I think I'll be talking about it soon, but there's so much more to it. The things that they've been telling me and showing me and stuff. So, I'm really excited to see, and I know that there is this person that I'm coming into alignment with. Like I talked about before, to me, this is in my experience, because, I went through life, going through all these problems and, all of this pain and suffering, and then, hit a wall. And it was like, you're going to survive this. What are you going to do? You have resilience. What are you going to do? You get a brain injury and your whole life starts falling apart. And and I couldn't hold any relationships. I was already, 2 for 2 down. And so, oh no, I was 3. I was 3 for 3 down. And so, everything was just like such a struggle. I struggled so hard in life. And then to go through the healing, which was a long process. Like these people who think like, oh, I awakened 6 weeks ago. Now I'm the spiritual expert. It's like, dude, you got some ego work to do. But it is, it's a journey. It really is a path, a road to enlightenment, to reach this point of understanding yourself. And so in that journey, when you start healing and you're alone and you start discovering yourself, there's different parts to it. Like I was enjoying it. And then, this situation happened where all of a sudden they started bringing this person to me, and bringing this person, like this person was coming into my orbit all the time. And I didn't know him. I mean, I still haven't met him. They just bring him into my orbit all the time. They're constantly, and not even just showing me what they're doing and stuff like that. They tell, like, the thing that's fascinating is that they'll tell me like how they think, how they feel, like it's like a merging on a spiritual level. I was thinking about this yesterday. I was thinking it's strange because it's like you are merging on this like spiritual level that is outside of this physical reality, where you are like getting to know this person on a deeper level, but you don't even know this person, but they are constantly showing you this person. And what they told me, this is what they told me, is that throughout this thing, they've told me, all the time, because there's times where it feels desperate. Like, I got to talk to this person. I got to talk to this person. Oh my God, I got to talk to this person. And, and when it first happened, that was a hard thing, because it felt so much like, I was so confused, like what's happening in my world and why do I need to talk to this person? And then, it was confusing, and they just kept showing me more and more and more. And I was like, oh my gosh, this person is like, it's like me in another body or something. Like it was kind of tripping me out, because I would see them and they would have like similar mannerisms, and I don't know, it was weird. It was really tripping me out. And so I was like, okay, this is weird. But what they were telling me was that this was this person that I've come to, this is the person who's in the next part of my life, that I have come for this part, like everything was leading up to this other situation. And so, and they told me that as you heal, so as you're healing yourself, you are raising your vibration, and you are both doing it. So you are raising your vibration, and they told me that it is like a magnet. This vibration pulls you towards this person. Like, I don't know. It's very trippy. I'm still waiting to see, how it's going to play out. Like, it's weird. Like, is this person going to talk to me? Am I going to be like at the store one day and look up and that person's standing there? Like, I don't know. But they've certainly made a very significant point over and over and over and over and over and over and over to tell me that they're preparing me for this, what's to come. So I don't know. I'm very curious to see how this is going to play out. And it's weird too, because it's not like, waiting for this person, but it is kind of like you do feel sometimes like you're waiting for this person. Like what's to come next? What's going to be next? What's going to happen? And but I'm really super excited for it. And it is weird to think about, like, being with somebody who's a lot like you. Then it is like you have to really be okay with yourself. You see, you have to really like yourself. You have to really accept yourself. Or how can you be around somebody who is a lot like you? Because if you don't like yourself, then it's just going to push your buttons, and push your buttons. God, it's so fucking eerie. They put on bird sounds on the TV. I'm not outside. But there's just weird stuff. Like yesterday, there was these low, loud fucking planes. Oh my God, so loud. And you could hear them from so far. And Stella! And anyways, so my hair is driving me crazy. I just got out of the shower. And I feel like, I don't know. Anyways, that's why I keep pushing it back and pushing it back. I did just get out of the shower. Some of it's not even dry. But anyways, so the planes were going super low. And then there started being this like thunder. It was not raining. It was overcast, but I knew it wasn't really thunder. It was just that same fake sounding, like these rumbles that are super loud. But I don't know how to explain it, but you can tell it's not real. It's something different. It's not thunder. It's real. It's really happening, but it's not thunder. And so then I was trying to get a video of it, and it was super hard. And then the planes kept going. The planes have already started again, but the thunder didn't keep going. But I was very much like, man, there is fighting going on up in the sky. We may not be able to see it. Maybe it is on the other side of the firmament. I don't know. Something's going on up in the sky. No doubt about it. And it is not just them spraying us. There's more to what's happening. And I don't know. But there's something weird going on. And I don't know if that's going to be a part of what's going to happen. I don't know. It's just mental. And, another thing, too. And, I don't know who all has seen this joyous thing. But for some reason, Tommy Lee decided that he needed to share his penis with everybody today. And so he posted, and I'm sure it's viral. I mean, I'm sure it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And I saw the picture, which if you haven't seen it, just go watch Hulu. The thing that they have on the artificial one they have on that guy, it looks exactly the same, And that's on Hulu right there for all the kids to watch. So, but I was like, what is the deal? Like, why do you feel like you need to share this with everybody today? And there was even this other one. It seems like he's got a bunch of pictures of himself out naked right now I don't know, maybe he's in Africa, because one of the pictures he's with an elephant. So, maybe he's just trying to be like, hey, we're all natural and stuff like that. But one picture is definitely like, hey, look at my penis right here. and to me, it's like, well, are you trying to show it off because it's big or something? Like, sorry, dude, but I've seen bigger, if that's what you're trying to do. It really bothers me, these guys that just think like everything is all about their penis. Like, oh, I've got a big one. Everybody look at this. And it's crazy too, because it made me, I was already thinking about this the other day. Jesus Christ, I don't know what she's got. Something very upsetting to her. I'll have to go check. But the thing is, back when I was younger, it seemed like that kind of stuff is important to me. Like, but I was thinking it was about, like, sex to me wasn't about love. It seemed kind of like I was abusing my body. I was kind of in union with other people who wanted to abuse my body. Like, there was a whole point where I feel like when I look back on those times where I was just like a sex toy to somebody else. It wasn't me. It wasn't, I don't know, it's weird. But, I just thought about that because to me, those things are like weapons when they're like that, And I don't know, I'm into something different now. I'm into this whole kind of connection, this energetic connection, and this, like, I didn't even know about like what tantric sex was or something. But now what I see, like, I do think you can connect on such a level that you can have these energetic experiences. And I don't know, there's just something weird with the whole thing. Like, it's, it's so primitive. It's just like the part of all of this stuff. It's all so primitive. It's like, are we just releasing this primitive stuff? Like, I don't know. There's just so much to all of it. But to me, it made me think about, my own sexual experiences and what I want from that and my past. And this is weird. This is so weird. Okay, hold on. I gotta go see what's going on. What is the problem? Would you come in, please? Come on. Stella, come on. Please come in. Come in. What you're having a fit about. Let's go down. God, she cracks me up. She just does so much, like, doing some hard work out here, Mom. Don't you see? But anyways, I didn't want to just leave it like that. So, but to me, I just, when I was younger, I was very into, like, I would have been like, oh yeah, Tommy Lee, yeah, that's, but now I just look at it as like, ugh, it's kind of yuck. It's like, why are you even showing it? And, it's kind of like too big. Like, who wants to do that? Like, it is going to hurt your body, hurt you on the inside. And that is the part where it starts making you feel like, so what is it that people want from sex? Like, I really feel like when I look back on mine, a lot of it was just punishing myself, and it is when how many people who feel like they're dirty or something's wrong with them. And sex does become like that. I was thinking about this a couple weeks ago. And I was thinking, it was probably, because you see these people who are against vibrators. I mean, the vibrators now is something devilish too. Like, the stuff that people say is just mental. But I was thinking, I think that there's so many people who don't know how to enjoy their own sexual experience with themselves. They feel like that they can only enjoy sex if they're letting someone have sex with them, if that makes sense. But to me, that is kind of like, there's something messed up in that. Like, we should be more, pushing kids to just, girls should have vibrators before they have boyfriends. They should know their own body. They should be able to experience their own sexuality, know what it is that they want. And then when they go into the relationship, they're more defined of who they are and what they want. They aren't just somebody's little blow-up doll, And then so many people feel guilty, like that they are ashamed, like, oh, yeah, I masturbated. Oh, I'm ashamed of myself. Like, I had sexual desires. But, they'll run out and have sex with a stranger, like, oh my God, I was so horny, I had to just go get this person. You know what I mean? Like, you just think about it. It's just, there's something strange about it. Because I do think, and I don't know, I think there's no accident that he's sitting there showing that, like, right now, during this time, where everything is over-sexualized, and it's very, all this stuff coming up, like kids learning about their sexuality in preschool and stuff. Like, what the fuck does a kid need to know about sex? Like, it bothered the shit out of me, even when my granddaughter was telling me, well, I like girls now. I'm 9 years old. It's like, well, yeah, that's normal. Like, but they think, like, well, that means I'm a lesbian, though. It's like, you don't know if you're a lesbian until you go out in the world and start dating and figure out who you're attracted to. You don't know that just because, well, I really like girls. Like, they don't even understand what sex is and desire and stuff. Like, they're kids and they're having something pushed on them. So just all of this purging, and it's just no surprise that Tommy Lee's anatomy would be right in there with this purge, this over-sexualized kind of demeaning, disgusting kind of way we've adapted into being that is completely toxic. So anyways, in an ideal world where I think we're headed, it is going to be where people are going to know more about their own bodies, love their own bodies. Sex is going to become sacred again, I think, where you're not going to just run around having sex. I mean, look at the stuff that's coming up where people, well, if I get pregnant, that's a real inconvenience. Well, maybe you shouldn't just be out having sex with strangers. Vibrators, they cost like $100 and they last for years. Like, you don't have to run around having sex with strangers. I don't know. I just think there's a lot for people to learn. And there's a lot of self-discovery happening. Another thing too, I'll leave this one, is not just, these people are like, well, if you're going to be spiritual, you have to be vegan. If you're not vegan, you're not spiritual. It's the same thing too. These people who are the super spirituals, are going to go in and tell you how to get off the weed. It's like, well, that's not what my guidance was. My guidance was towards the weed. Maybe you had a problem with it. You were using weed to distract yourself or to not deal with your problems. You were using it in toxic behavior. So then your guides were like, God, you need to get off the weed. We need to get focused here. Because mine was guided towards it, like to enhance my experience. And, and I needed to break down those paradigms of rules. Like I said, like I mean, everybody's around me smoking it. I'd be like, that's against the law. It's against the law, people. Which, by the way, this whole fucking thing with this girl person being locked up over there, because it kind of bugs me when people are like, oh yeah, she's a woman on the women's basketball team. She's been a woman for fucking what, a year? If even that? Like, bullshit. Like, quit playing these fucking games. Like, but sitting there saying, she's locked up and, people need to go in and save her and stuff. Like, it's all the absurdity to show us. But the same time, I think it was the same day that I started seeing that, I started seeing this guy who had just got out of prison, a black guy, of course, just got out of prison, 30 years. He's been in prison for a couple joints or something, like a bag of weed back then. A lid was a big old bag of weed for $10. Something like that. He wasn't a dealer or anything. He just was a user and in jail for 30 years. But we need to rush to this person's thing and get them out. Like, let's start with here. Let's start letting out these people who are in jail and fucking prison. 30 motherfucking years for a goddamn joint? Are you fucking... Oh, it's disgusting. And, there's a lot of people here. Let's start at home. Let's start letting these people out. Because this is ridiculous. And once you understand, the prisons are all public or privately owned, and the whole system developed the prisons to move certain people into them to control. And I just know there's more and more to this spiritual aspect of melanin in blood and why they chose to go after certain people and create this racist and, it's all been a part of their plan to isolate certain people and turn people against people. And I don't know, it's aggravating. But everybody has to see it for themselves. And just like I said, you can have completely different experiences. Somebody else can be being told, get off the weed from their own inner guidance. And then they, being the super spirits, then they are like, everybody must do what I say because my guide said, get off the weed. It's like, dude, if you're being told get off the weed, I would think you're probably using a lot of weed. Like, what the hell? And there is something to that. There is something to people use it. Like, I just saw the one girl who is on there all the time, who I said is posting nonstop with her relationship thing, which now it's like back to, I mean, one day she's posting, we're going tomorrow to get divorced and I don't want to look pretty. And then the next day it's like, well, we were in bed last night talking about God. It's like, I'm telling you, it's just spinning. But she was, she's a heavy pot smoker. I guess she's an ex-addict or something. I think she talks about that some on hers. But that she started recognizing, like, when she wanted to smoke to hide from her problems. And then that's what, a lot of people who were smoking for a long time, that's what they did do. Is, they used it just like people use alcohol. I used shopping. Like, I was a shopaholic. I was shop, workaholic. Had to get more money, had to go shop. So, and I had to stop that. Like, I was forced to have to go into withdrawals over that when my income, when I got the brain injury and I had lost my nursing license and stuff. And then that was a big, like, I'm telling you, so many things changed in my life from the brain injury. I was forced into change. I kept being forced into change. I wasn't going into it lightly, but that's what is happening. The universe is forcing everybody into change. And then some of these people, they just want to, oh, my guide said this, my guide said that. I'll share what my guidance is. But everybody, I just try and push everybody into listening to their own. It kind of bugs me too, is like, you have these, because there's a lot of people who are like, oh, I found this psychic and I'm telling you what she said, and she said this and she said that, and all of that kind of stuff. There's a lot of those people. And, to me, it's like, yeah, but we're all psychic. Don't go in and listen to what this person says. Go in and ask your questions to your guides, because they're going to tell you what you need to know during this, not what she needs to know during this, if she wants to share it. But I'm always like, why aren't these people who are sharing this information telling people to go in and get their own? There's something weird about it. There's something like they want to be the source of information. But that's what we need to start, really dissolving. We all are our own source of information. We don't need to use somebody else's information to tell us what to do, Like, even the stuff I say, that would be stuff to just, kind of open your mind to. It's like seeds. Like, seeds go in and then you're like, oh, that doesn't make any sense to me. And then maybe something I say will make sense to you because you'll hear it later. But any of this stuff, hopefully it just helps people, like, to stoke the fires of their own mind, to stoke the fires between them and their higher self, to get the conversation moving, because everybody seriously have a very unique path, a very unique thing that they're doing here. And, just going in and listening to what somebody else is going through is not going to just give you all the answers. The things I talk about when I'm going through is just to try and get people to open up their minds to the possibilities. Like, there is a lot going on. And just because your relationships are dissolving and falling apart, they have to. You're not going to bring in your highest vibration person. And like I said, they told me it's like a magnet. You pull towards each other as you heal. You're not going to ever align with them if you're just focused on the wrong person and you're just trying to make this relationship work. Then how will you ever get to meet the right person? because we have people that we are more in alignment with, but we have to develop ourselves to find that alignment, to find this group, these people. You know, we have to raise, and your vibration is raised by the healing. That is how you raise your vibration. All these other people who say all of this other stuff, like, no, you raise your vibration by healing and letting go of things. That is what gives you that buoyancy of letting go. That's what lets the baggage off of you. When you let the baggage off, your shoulders rise, your chest rise, like you just feel better. You feel more in alignment. You feel proud of yourself. I mean, when you do the work and you go in and you deal with your shit and you deal with your past patterns and your past pain, you will feel strong. You'll feel powerful and you will feel proud of yourself. And that is where you have to stay and not get all up in ego. Like, oh, I'm better than everybody else because I've done it. Because, you know, it's everybody is learning their own stuff. So, you know, you want to be proud of yourself. Like, ego has a point, a place, but you just don't want to get out of balance. It's all about balance. So, you know, your ego is going to say, hey, hell yeah, you're pretty fucking cool, you know, but you don't want to just go over in that and go way out of balance. You got to just stay, pull in, and, you know, remember, you know, humble is on the other side, and stay in balance. So anyways, that's just more things to think about. So I will talk to you later. Bye.